If you're over 60 and your eyes snap open at 2:47 a.m., heart steady, mind suddenly awake, no bad dream, no noise outside, you're not imagining it. It's not anxiety, and it's not just getting old. Whether you're in the US, the UK, Canada, or Australia, this exact pattern is playing out in millions of bedrooms right now. Same hour, same confusion, same frustration of lying there watching the ceiling. Here's what sleep medicine has actually found about the 2 to 3 a.m. window and why the fix isn't melatonin, isn't warm milk, and isn't what your doctor likely told you. The real reason sits inside two quiet systems that shift after 60. Once you see them, the fix becomes obvious. So let me give you the answer up front before we go into the why. Waking at 2 to 3 a.m. after 60 is usually driven by one of three things: an early cortisol rise, an overnight blood sugar dip, or a bladder signal you've stopped noticing consciously. And most of the time, it's a combination of the first two working together at the exact worst moment of your sleep cycle. This isn't insomnia, it isn't anxiety, it's a predictable shift in two hormone systems that happens to almost everyone past 60. Now, here's why this works, and here's the part most sleep advice for people over 60 gets
what's actually happening inside you at 2 a.m. You have a hormone called melatonin. Think of melatonin as a thick wool blanket pulled over you at bedtime. In your 30s, that blanket is heavy. It holds you under for 7 or 8 hours, and you don't feel a thing. By age 70, your body makes roughly half as much melatonin as it did at 30. The blanket thins to a bedsheet. It still covers you, but any small disturbance now reaches you. That's the first system. Here's the second: cortisol, your body's morning wake-up hormone. In younger adults, cortisol bottoms out around 3 or 4 a.m., then rises gradually toward morning. But after 60, that low point shifts 60 to 90 minutes earlier, which means cortisol starts climbing while you're still in the lightest stage of sleep. And here's the brutal part. A 2021 review in Sleep Medicine Reviews found that after 60, you spend roughly 50% less time in deep sleep than you did at 30. So the second half of the night is now dominated by lighter sleep stages, the stages easiest to wake from. And 2 to 3 a.m. falls right in that fragile window. Now add blood sugar to all of this. If you eat dinner at 6 p.m. and you eat no protein with it, your liver's glucose stores run out around the 6-hour mark. That's 2 a.m. Your body releases a small cortisol and adrenaline pulse to pull sugar from reserves, and that pulse is what wakes you. Thin blanket, rising cortisol, light sleep, blood sugar dip, all at the same hour. That's not bad luck. That's biology. One honest note before we go any further. If you wake at 2 to 3 a.m. and you feel short of breath, chest tightness, or a pounding heart, this video isn't for you. That pattern needs a doctor, not a protocol. Okay, that's the mechanism. Now try something with me, right now, from wherever you're
flat on the floor. Breathe in through your nose for 4 counts. Hold for 4. Now exhale slowly through your mouth for 8 counts, and repeat that 4 times. What you should feel is this: your shoulders drop, your jaw softens, a small settling in the chest, like something letting go. That long exhale switches on your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest branch. It's the same tool that will get you back to sleep at 2:47 a.m. without lying there frustrated. That's the off switch. Now here's the full protocol that stops the waking from happening in the first place.
This protocol starts at dinner, not at bedtime, and that's the first thing most people get wrong. 1. Dinner timing. Finish dinner 3 hours before bed, not 5, not 6. Too early and your blood sugar crashes at 2 a.m. Too late and digestion interferes with falling asleep. 3 hours is the window. 2. Protein at dinner. This one is non-negotiable. You want 20 to 30 grams of protein at the evening meal. A piece of chicken, fish, eggs, tofu, or Greek yogurt. Protein is the slow-burn fuel that keeps your liver topped up through the night. Without it, the 2 a.m. crash is almost guaranteed. 3. The evening protein snack. If you wake consistently at 2 to 3 a.m., add a small protein snack 30 minutes before bed. A tablespoon of almond butter, a boiled egg, a small handful of nuts. Not sugar, not crackers on their own. The protein is the whole point. 4. The alcohol rule. And honestly, this is the one most people don't want to hear. A 2020 study in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society found that a single evening drink increases second half of night wakings by roughly 25% in adults over 55. So if you wake at 2 to 3 a.m. and you had wine at 7 p.m., the wine is almost certainly the cause. This is the single biggest fix most people refuse to try. 5. The liquid cutoff. Stop drinking fluids 2 hours before bed. Research published in European Urology in 2019 showed that roughly 2 in 3 adults over 65 wake at night to urinate, and most people blame bad sleep when the bladder is the actual trigger. 6. Morning light. 10 minutes of daylight within 30 minutes of waking. Step outside. No sunglasses. This anchors your cortisol rhythm to the correct time, which means it bottoms out at the correct time overnight. It's the cheapest fix on this list and probably the most underrated. Now here's where age matters specifically. If you're 55 to 65 and active, run the standard protocol. Add 20 minutes of daytime movement on top.
If you're
A walk
65
after
to
lunch is
75
ideal.
with some moderate limitations, cut alcohol entirely for 14 days as a test. Most people see the 2 to 3 a.m. waking stop within a week. That single change is often the whole answer. And if you're managing arthritis, high blood pressure, or diabetes, listen closely. If you take blood pressure medication in the evening, ask your doctor whether morning dosing might be appropriate instead. If you take diuretics at night, the timing itself may be your actual problem, but do not, and I mean this, do not adjust any of this yourself. Here's the part most advice about 2 to 3 a.m. waking completely misses. Most sleep advice for people over 60 is take melatonin. But the problem isn't that you can't fall asleep, it's that you can't stay asleep past 2 a.m. Melatonin helps with the first, it does almost nothing for the second. You're treating the wrong half of the night. Here's exactly what to say to your doctor at your next appointment. 3 questions. Write them down, take them in with you. Question 1. Is any medication I'm taking in the evening possibly contributing to my 2 to 3 a.m. waking, and could any of them be moved to morning dosing? Question 2. Should I be checked for sleep apnea given that I'm waking at the same time most nights? Question 3. Is my fasting blood sugar pattern consistent with a possible overnight dip, and would a continuous glucose monitor for 2 weeks give us useful information? You don't need a sleep specialist. You don't need a 6-month wait list. What you need is a 10-minute conversation with your regular doctor with the right 3 questions in your hand, and you now have them. If what we covered today is the kind of explanation your doctor never had the time to give you, that's exactly what this channel is built for. New videos every week, real sources, no scare tactics, no selling.
Has your doctor ever explained 2 to 3 a.m. waking as a cortisol and blood sugar issue, or were you told it was just stress or aging? Tell me in the comments. I read them. And there's one more piece to this that connects directly to what we covered today, something most people over 60 have already been told about their morning cortisol, but have never truly understood. The next video makes it click into place.
Everything in this video is for educational purposes only, not medical advice. The research we covered today is real. Every source is cited on screen, and the links are in the description so you can verify every claim yourself. If you're currently on medication for blood pressure, diabetes, or any condition you take in the evening, or if you're managing a diagnosed sleep disorder, please speak with your doctor before making any changes to your routine. What works for one person may need adjusting for another. References to Dr. Matthew Walker and Dr. Michael Breus in this video come from their publicly available interviews and publications, all linked in the description. This channel exists to give you the information your doctor didn't have time to explain, not to replace them. If anything here raised a concern about your health, take it seriously and get it checked. Your health matters. See you in the next one.